Steven Crowder is going through a really rough time, and you can definitely see it on his face whenever he has to talk about this situation. It's really taking a toll on him, but I think what's even more disgusting than anything that I've seen so far from Steven Crowder, and I'm not jumping to conclusions, like I said, all the things that I've seen so far that have been leaked, to obviously the leaked video that I'll show you towards the end of this video if you haven't seen it yet, all that stuff does make Steven Crowder look worse and worse as more information comes out. But I've been saying this whole time, for one, stop inserting yourself in this guy's divorce. It's just gross. Like all these other YouTubers, these other people on Twitter, these high profile people who are calling Steven evil immediately without having the full context, all these people on Twitter who are leaking documents regarding his divorce. It's all disgusting, and I don't think that you should be doing that. Personally, I would never do that. I don't even want to make these videos. I don't like it, but people are asking me on Twitter to make these types of videos, so I'll do this one because, like I said before, if Steven responds, I'll talk about it again. If Steven responds, I'll talk about it again. Other than that, I'm not going to make inferences. I'm not going to guess on what's going on in this guy's marriage, and I'm definitely not going to make my decision based on a 3-minute clip from a broken marriage. You know, obviously, whenever a marriage is broken, things are going to get heated. Things are going to go wrong. People are going to say things they don't mean. They're going to do things that they don't mean. And that's what Steven is saying in this one. Let's check it out, man. This statement from Steven Crowder right here, I think it's going to make a lot of people look stupid if he does follow through with it. Because there's a lot of people who immediately, they saw that 3-minute clip and they immediately wrote off about 10-year marriage. I'm not sure. I think they were married for at least 10 years. They immediately wrote it off as Steven is extremely abusive. He's an abusive husband. His wife was good for leaving him. I'm really glad that his wife got out of there. All those things, man. And I'm telling you, don't jump to those conclusions until we have the full context is all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's completely innocent. I'm not saying he's not an abuser. That video did look bad. That clip looked really bad for Steven, and it looked like he was being abusive in that situation. But I'm just saying, wait for the entire thing to come out before we jump to conclusions. Let's check out what Steven Crowder has to say in response to that abuse clip.
On my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Look, broken marriages are ugly, and in them people do ugly things. Myself, of course included, I would never claim otherwise. However, due to recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record, finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week.
Steven has said that he wanted to keep this entire situation as private as possible. The only reason why he addressed the situation was because the divorce documents got leaked in the first place. And I have had some intel. I'm not going to say it's 100% true, but I've had some intel. I've had some people tell me that possibly Hillary Crowder could have leaked those documents to the person who ended up leaking those documents. I don't know that for a 100% fact. Let me know in the comments if that's common knowledge or not. If I do find out that stuff has become common knowledge, then I'll talk more about what I have heard, but I'm not going to go out in there and try to leak even more information on this dude's divorce. I'm just not going to do it. Steven Crowder also had this to say. I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Broken marriages are ugly, and then people do ugly things, myself of course included. I would never claim otherwise. However, due to recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. And I'm with him, man. If he really does this, if he releases all the documents, I will be very happy. And I really do hope for the best for the guy because I do enjoy his content. It would be sad for me to see, him actually be an abuser, him actually be the way that he's being portrayed right now. I also want to give everybody watching this video something to think about. There's been a lot of weird things going on right now in the conservative space, especially. We've had Matt Walsh get hacked. We've had Steven Crowder and Dave Landau fall out, go on shows and talk badly about Steven Crowder, who had been around Steven Crowder previously. We've had Matt Walsh be hacked. Like I said, we have Tucker Carlson getting fired. We have a lot of people arguing with each other. We have the Nick F, I can't say his last name, and the Ari Alexander guy. All that stuff going on. It's a lot of weird things happening in the conservative and the right-wing space right now. I'm just saying it's something to think about. I'm not saying that this is, a targeted thing by some insider of the right wing trying to take it down from the inside out. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying something to think about. There's a lot of weird things going on right now. And this is all in response to this clip right here. I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, I tweeted it out myself. My Twitter is Justin Loss with 2 T's. It will be linked in the pinned comment if you want to go check out this clip right here. But it does look bad. It does. There's no way of getting around it. It looks bad. It's him arguing with his wife, telling his wife that she needs to feed the dogs or walk the dogs, give the dogs their medicine and things like that. You have to understand, and I'm not in any way trying to defend these actions here because it was verbal abuse to a certain extent. It was. Some people are saying that it wasn't. It's not a good way to talk to anybody, much less your wife. Okay, it's just not. But you have to understand, Steven is a very, very successful person who works a very, very high stress job. And he does a really complicated show where he has to have guests on. He has to do skits. He works very hard on that show. I know he goes to the gym a lot. He's pretty active. He has a lot of things to do. And he lives a very stressful life. He makes a ton of money. And I think that his wife was just a stay-at-home wife. I think personally, even though she is pregnant, so that gives her a little bit of a pass. Personally, I don't think those are totally outrageous things to ask your wife to do whenever you're bringing in millions and millions of dollars every single year and working a very high stress job where people are sending death threats at you constantly. And, you have to write skits, you have to write jokes, you have to bring on guests, you have to do all kinds of things. You have talent coming in and out, signing different contracts, getting away from the daily wire, like all these different things. And I'm not saying that situation was happening at the same time as this. The timelines don't add up, but I'm sure there were other logistical things that Steven Crowder was going through in this time period that really was stressing him out. I don't think it's outrageous to ask your pregnant wife, even though she is pregnant. So like I said, a little bit of a pass. I don't think that's outrageous things to ask your wife to do, is to just feed or give the dogs their medicine and walk the dog. Now, the way he was talking to her, it's unacceptable. You shouldn't be talking to your wife. You really shouldn't be talking to anybody like that. It really is just a disrespectful way to talk to people. But hey, man, that's what happens when you get married, man. You live with the same person for long enough, you're going to get pissed at them, especially when the things aren't working out, when you're not lining up mentally. It's going to get ugly, man. That's why I'm not getting married. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. This would happen to me too. I would end up like this, especially if I was making millions of dollars, working an extremely high stress job, and my wife is refusing to give medicine to the dogs and walk the dogs. I wouldn't be able to take it. I'm going to be honest with you. But that's why I'm just not going to put myself in that situation in the first place, because I know it would end pretty badly for me as well. But let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people think I'm completely outrageous with those takes, but I just think that we should wait and see, especially if Steven Crowder, like I said, I wasn't going to comment on this again. I made a video earlier this morning. I don't even know if I'll release it because I just, sat down to make this as soon as Steven Crowder dropped this statement. I don't know if I'm going to release that video from earlier this morning because I was talking about, I don't even think I want to talk about this until Steven addresses it directly. And hopefully he comes out and gives us some more context, gives us even more information. And I think he's going to do that. Thankfully, I think he's going to do that. I hope it makes him look good. I hope this situation dies down. I hope people stop jumping to conclusions so much, because I think that even when Steven comes out with his new information, I'm sure people are going to jump to his side and be like, yeah, Steven's 100% innocent. Let's just wait for the whole thing to play out and stop trying to inject ourselves into this guy's marriage. Stop trying to assume things. Stop trying to infer things. Let's just let it play out, man. The guy's obviously going through some stuff right now. Let's just chill on him a little bit is all I'm saying. Let me know what you guys think though in the comments about the entire situation.